Alright, how's it going, everyone? Let me just see if I have sound. Where is my tab? Should probably have done that before. Just check real quick. Alright, how's it going, everyone? Let me just see if I have sound. Okay, perfect. I have sound. So, welcome everyone to today's live stream. I don't know how many people are going to watch this live, but I am going to start talking because this is what we're going to do starting today, and hopefully we're going to do this on a regular basis. So, welcome to the first live stream of Kuala Lumpur. I will explain a little bit before I actually get into what I'm about to do on this live stream and the ones to follow in the future. I'm going to explain a little bit on what this whole thing is about, and hopefully you'll be able to get some context, especially if you're watching this from the future over here. You'll be able to understand why I decided to do this. So right now I'm actually about a minute away from uploading another video where I talk about my ADHD just a little bit, and that is what I've decided is the best compromise, because I've had ADHD for a good part of my life. I've been battling it, and it's something that really is not fixable. There's medication for it, I guess, but I'm not willing to do that because if you did a bit of research as to ADHD medication, you're going to be able to find that there's a lot of side effects to that as well. Besides, I'm too old for that shit, so hey, let's get on with life and do this. So one of the things that I've been doing in the last 1 year or so is I've been on this challenge to start becoming a profitable day trader. There's a longer backstory to this, but I really want to prove a lot of naysayers and haters wrong, which is why I've been trying so hard. And the problem with that is that because of my ADHD, I've been procrastinating a lot. I've been wasting a lot of my time. I've done a lot of things that a lot of people will call amazing progress, but they're not me, right? To me, I have a really high bar, and B, I'm able to spectate myself on a daily basis to understand how much time I'm wasting not doing what I'm supposed to do. And I've been waiting for almost a year now for that hyper focus to kick in. That hyper focus has helped me throughout my life, especially when it comes to a lot of entrepreneurial stuff, which I'm really lucky for, because a lot of people, I recently spoke to someone who apparently also has ADHD, and she tells me that she doesn't really have like a strong hyper focus that helps her out in a productive way in life. So anyway, I decided that because I've been waiting for my hyper focus to kick in for so long, and it hasn't. There was a short period of time where I did experience what was probably hyper focus in February and March, and those were the best trading months that I've had so far in this 1+ year journey. And I'm trying to reproduce that really, and while I'm doing that, I can't be just sitting around procrastinating. So the reason why I started the stream is because I want to make videos for this channel, and I also want to be able to do stuff that I'm supposed to do, right? I don't do YouTube as my full-time job, and I never plan to, and this is not going to be any form of income for me as of now. I might make some money in the future off of this channel, just being absolutely transparent and no filter here, but that's probably going to be like small change. Just like how some of you who have watched Lewis Rossman back in the day, he started his YouTube channel as well, just out of passion and interest, and not really because of money. So I never plan to make YouTube my full-time job, but I also like making videos. So this comes as a toilet bowl thought the other day, and I was like, Lewis used to make live board repairs on his channel to the point where he started a second channel dedicated to live board repairs. And I pretty much do the same thing, but for trading, because one of the things that I do often is I reverse engineer people's trades in order to learn how to be a better trader. And I'm pretty sure I could start doing this kind of as a personal journal, but I could just live stream it for whoever's benefit. Some of you might learn something, some of you might not be interested, and just roll your freaking eyeballs back into the back of your head and say like, what the hell is this guy doing with trading and stuff? What the fuck is all of this? Well, it's what I do every day. It's basically my job at this point to do this stuff. So What a better way to get some, I guess, engagement out there with the 240 something people who are currently subscribed to this channel, and hopefully someone out there, whether they're subscribed right now or they just stumble upon this channel in the future, is able to learn something. I mean, after all this shit that I do on a daily basis isn't something that's going to be used by anyone, other than me, if I don't publish it on this channel. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. That's a bit of an introduction to this live stream thing that I'm kicking off today. And feel free to also ask me anything. These sessions are not like a one-way, door. It's like a two-way window, You're free to ask me anything. I've gotten comments before from people in the comments section over various things, and I'm happy to answer those questions live. So what I'm going to do here is, let me introduce you to this crazy looking chart. So it's not as complicated as a lot of people think, right? You look at all these lines and you're like, what the fuck is all this crap? Like, how the hell am I supposed to learn? This is why most people who start trying to go full time in day trading end up losing all their money and then just quitting and then getting a job again. No, it's not. It's not. This stuff right here took me about 2 to 3 months to learn late last year, and this is not my style of trading for everything, but it is a style of trading that I'm trying to incorporate in my crypto trades. So what I have over here is I have an Excel that you can't really see on screen. I apologize for that, but because of a lot of, let's call it security and privacy reasons, I'm just going to share this chart in my live streams. You guys already know what I look like. Also, I don't have a dedicated AC adapter pack for my camera, so I can't put my camera on. And I'm also not going to share my entire fucking desktop for obvious reasons. So this is the best that I can work with. But I'm going to describe to you what my Excel off screen here looks like. So I have a list of trades by a person whom we'll call Joe. Joe is allegedly a very profitable crypto trader. He allegedly turned a couple of $1,000s into a few $1 million back a few years ago. And that he admits was done mostly by luck, but he wanted to multiply his money and he also wanted to protect his capital, and that's how he decided to learn how to trade crypto the proper way instead of the YOLO way. Now, what he's done is he's allegedly managed to turn that couple of $1 million that he won out of mostly luck, being at the right place, right time, buying the right coin, into a couple of tens of millions or a couple of 100 million. I'm not really sure, but I trust this guy, and I've harvested a lot of his trades from last year into this Excel sheet. I have the time that he's posted the trade, the ticker, the coin that he's taken the trade on. So I have a nice huge list over here of different coins that I follow. And I'm going to go back in time and look at what he saw, right? And try to figure that out. He's posted his entry prices for a lot of them. He's posted his stop loss, his take profit points. He's not always posted the results of those trades, although they're usually implied. And it's a bit of a Scooby-Doo, Sherlock Holmes thing that I'm doing over here, because I don't have the complete picture, but I'm trying to put together pieces of the puzzle, whatever pieces that I have, in order to kind of extrapolate that data and try to form what could be the complete picture, what could be the things he was seeing before he decided to get into those trades, when he decided to cut those losses, when he decided to take profit. So that's something that I am going to do right now. But let me also, that video of mine is also ready, so let me just upload that video. I apologize for the slow start over here, and nothing's really happening on screen that might be exciting. I apologize for that, and you're just hearing me talk because I had actually filmed that video literally before I started this live stream, which I'm actually late to, and supposed to post that. Let me just grab the thumbnail for my video. This is the life of any. I don't want to use it as a crutch too much, but this is the life of an ADHD person. I think there's this really bad tendency that I have of underestimating how much time it takes to do something, and I end up being late to whatever it is that I'm supposed to do next. I think that's part of the ADHD package. Let me just get my thumbnail ready for a second over here, post that video, and then we can get on with this reverse engineering that I'm actually excited to do. Okay, that's a good thumbnail over here. I guess this is a good. I usually just scrub through my videos. I'm not a professional video editor by any means. I actually didn't know how to edit videos prior to making this channel, and that's something that I always wanted to do. So back when I was working in a startup, which subsequently laid me off, and I sued them for unlawful dismissal and won in court. Right, so in that company, there was this lady that I used to work with, and she made a lot of videos for the demos that we were doing, and I thought that was really impressive because she would move her fingers like she was a fucking day trader, except it was Adobe Premiere Pro, and she would edit these videos like crazy. She would often be like crunched for time, and I was like, wow, that's so impressive. I don't think I could do that because that looks so complicated. And boom, motherfucker, here I am. Years later, doing the exact same thing that she's doing. She probably has faster fingers and knows more hotkeys than I do, but I'm able to edit videos now, and that's something that I'm proud of myself for. So with every video comes a thumbnail. ADHD is why I will start live streaming on this channel. Right, so I'm just gonna put that here. I could probably put like a red font that I like to put for like the click engagement effect or whatever they call it, right? If there's no big eye-catching something in your thumbnail, people aren't going to click on your videos and they aren't going to watch it. So let me just put ADHD in red font over here. Sorry, I wish I had set up OBS to be able to share my Photoshop and other programs over here, but I only have it to set to share this trading this chart on stream. And I also kind of multitask sometimes when I'm trying to think of like a caption in my head, like my mouth stops talking. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say over here in this caption, and I'm going to export this thumbnail over here into a folder. Upload the thumbnail. Excuse me. What did I say in 4 minutes? I'm sorry. Let me just play back my video over here. You would be able to move on to the next faster than scheduled, and you could pass that. I could hyper focus because I was super interested in. All those things were enabled by the fact time that I started building websites, and there's a lot of examples from. Okay, I got it. So at 4:07, other times hyper focus has helped. Down in. Okay, so I'm just going to give this video a short description. I don't know what to call it. I guess I'll just call it the same thing. All right, so let's see. Do I have viewers over here? Is there? I don't even know how to use this thing. Okay. All right. So. All right. I'm gonna post this, public, post, publish. Okay, done. Now we can actually get on to the real part of this live stream now that that video is online. All right, so what do I have on my desk over here? I'm trying to look for a good trade that I want to go reverse engineer. JASMY is the coin that I like to look at over here. I have some previous drawings. I have something that I left off. Oh, okay. So this is what I'm gonna do over here, right? So this is, where's my replay? Where's my replay, bro? Wait, what? This thing working? Okay. Let me refresh this page real quick. I don't want to set an alert. I want my replay. I want to select my date. I want to select May 31st, 2024. And I can't select the time because I didn't select the low time frame over here. So let me just do that. What am I doing? May 31st at 3 p.m. Okay, so let me just check my folder real quick. So over here we have JASMY, and the story behind JASMY over here is that our friend Joe decided to get into this trade on the 31st of May 2024. So that's a little over a year ago at this point. And I have in my notes, let me just try to look for, where's my JASMY, bro? Okay, here it is. So I have in my notes that he declared that he entered this trade at 3:02 p.m. And before we do that, let me just make note of the timestamp over here. So I have my little notepad. I'm going to put the timestamp over here because I want my future viewers to be able to have a good productive time in my live streams without having to scroll through a 2 to 3 hour long mess. In fact, today's live stream might be 3 hours long or even more. So I have in my notes over here that our friend Joe entered JASMY. He entered a long position at 3:02 p.m. on May 31st, 2024. He previously entered it on the 27th of May, but he got out because his profit target got hit. So he was looking for like a double dip over here, and I've marked the entry points that he's declared over here, but I'm trying to get myself reoriented, because this was something that I did like last week, and I should have finished the job, but I apparently did not. So let's do that. So we also have two JASMY trades back to back. So there's another one on June 1st. I've saved some screenshots over here. Let me just check real quick. Okay, so I actually can ignore this part over here, but I'm gonna go through it just for the sake of you guys who are watching. So our friend over here decided to enter sometime about he declared entry at 3:02 p.m., right, which is the candle over here. So this is the 5-minute chart, this is the 1 week, this is the 1 hour, this is the 30-minute, and this is the 4 hour. This is the 1 day. So you can think of like going back in time: 5-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 day. And then in this corner, for some fucking strange reason, no, it's not a strange reason actually, because I want it that way, it's going to be 1 week up here, right? So the reason why this is set up the way it's set up is because there's another trader that I actually have learned a bunch of things from, and one thing that he does is, in order for him to identify what he wants to trade for that day, right? Because nobody wakes up one day and decides to go into this random shit coin that no one's heard of called JASMY and decides to trade it, right? There's so many different options over here. How the hell do you figure out? So this one guy who's not the alleged crypto millionaire whose trades I'm analyzing right now, according to him, he looks at the higher time frames first. So he either looks for a trending 1 day or a 4 hour, and then he looks for a trending 1 hour or 30 minutes. So if he can find one of these to be trending, he then dives into like the middle time frame, and if either of these things are trending, he dives into like the low time frame in order to find an entry spot over here. So I'm trying to match what these two guys are doing together in order for me to be able to take better trades. So he declared entry to be about this time over here. You can see, I hope you can see, I've set this thing to like 1440p, right? And I'm on an even higher resolution monitor, so I hope you can see my cursor over here. So on the 5-minute time frame over here, this is when he declared entry. However, the problem with that is that he declared his entry price to be 0.031, which was last hit over here. I don't think he took the entry over here, even though it almost touched 0.31, because it was a pullback of sorts, but there was no way of knowing whether this was a pullback. So my intuition tells me that he most likely took this trade after it went up, and then it went down, and then it went down, and then it went back up after that. It started to look like it wanted to close back above, and I think that's when he took the chance and got into this trade. So he actually got in closer to like 1:40 p.m., which is over an hour before he declared his entry, which is not really abnormal over here, because I don't know. That's how that guy operates. A lot of people try to copy trade him. Maybe this is a way for him to shake those people off. I don't know. And he had his little stop loss set at 0.028, which is what this little purple line is for. And then what this blue line here is, what is this blue line for? Did I write down what this blue line was for? Right, okay. Was it this? Yeah, so this blue line over here is a possible support that was a possible resistance that was turned into support. So you see how it struggled to go up past this line, and then it did eventually. I probably should write that down. So I'm gonna write this down, because otherwise when I save the screenshot I might forget. Do that. That means I'm gonna have to save this over my previous screenshot. That's absolutely fine. Let me just do that. So it might be possible that he saw this resistance like about to be turned support, and that's what prompted him to get into this trade. So sorry, I'm a bit disorganized. Like I said, the problem with what I've been doing is that I start doing something and then I drift off, and then I do something else, and then I come back and then I forget what I was doing, and then I end up taking more time doing it. So it's possible that he entered using this fashion over here, and then after that, at 6:39 p.m., he declared that he didn't really like this price action over here. So let's fast forward to the little purple dot over here, which is where he got out of the trade, or declared that he got out of the trade at least. So this is where he declared that he got out of the trade. He didn't specify what price he got out at, but what we do know from this little price action over here is he didn't like this price action. He probably didn't like this either. And I'm not really sure where he decided to exit. It could be that he exited here and just took a tiny loss. He could have exited when he declared that he exited and took a bigger yet still very small loss. That's something that's unclear. However, shortly after that, literally 12 hours later, on the 1st of June at 6 a.m. Let's fast forward to that over here. So I'm gonna review my notes over here real quick and highlight that I've managed to do. All right, so 6. Okay, let me just type down the timestamp for the benefit of viewers as well. So JASMY. All right, so at 6:47, June 1st, he decided to re-enter JASMY about here. So what I'm gonna do over here is I'm going to try to find. He didn't give like an entry point and an entry price, but what he did do was he did raise the stop loss, right, to here. So I'm gonna mark this over here. I'm gonna turn it purple. And this was the stop loss that he had for this new trade on June the 1st. So with that in mind, what I'm gonna do over here is I'm gonna guess, and I could be wrong, that his entry price was also a little bit above that, maybe on this candle. I want to say it might be this candle over here, because if you think about it, the price action was extremely favorable, and as it was starting to move up over here, he might have thought, it's gonna shoot up like to the fucking moon, and that's when I'm gonna enter. There's no way he would have decided to enter somewhere here, because it just doesn't make sense. There's nothing price action wise for him to want to enter anything. So I need to start structuring things a little bit better. I need to find a better. Let's just mark this over here. So this was his declared entry timing, right? And this was where I think he entered. So let me just put here. And what I'm gonna do over here is I'm gonna turn these things invisible. I'm gonna put that little cross line. I didn't know it was called a cross line over here. I'm going to change it to another color in case I happen to turn the other one on again. So I believe this is where he decided to enter the trade. He also had he didn't put any profit targets. You know what? Let me just turn those other lines back on. The reason why that is because the only information that I have for the second trade is his stop loss, which is 0.0295. He didn't have an entry price. He didn't have any profit targets. So this is the only piece of information that we have. And this is a guess. And my guess is pretty much he had the same targets up as the prior trade, as the initial trade over here. Let me just give this thing a name. That this was Joe's trade when he re-entered. No, not June 31st. June 1st was when he entered the trade. All right, so I'm gonna save this as his entry on June the 1st. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to go to this other chart over here. This is that other chart that I work with. Is it really not going to work again? Damn. I think these pages have just been like in my cache for so long that they're kind of stuck. So June 1st at what was it? 6:47 a.m. So the reason why I have this other chart is because this is the so-called screening view that I have, that I picked up from the other guy. And the screening view allows you to quickly browse between like 4 hour 1 day up here and 1 hour 30 minute over here, and then be able to look at this lower time frame in order to get your exact entry. I'm also going to save this view because if you notice over here, the chart on the right is actually a 15-minute chart. It is not a 5-minute chart, and that's where it differs a little bit from the other one. I do this because it's just another view that I'm supposed to be used to, and yeah, hopefully I get it, like something out of it, right? I don't know if it's actually going to help saving 2 screenshots of the entries and exits, but that's what I do. Okay, so I'm going to look at this real quick. So everything was trending. 1 day was trending, 4 hours was trending, 1 hour was not so favorable, 30-minute was breaking out. So you see this little line over here, the resistance. It looked like it wanted to break out from this point. So I'm going to type that in my notes as well. Right, so it looks like he entered this trade because of this breakup, because everything else was trending. If I look over here, the 15-minute was also pushing upwards over here, so that's probably where he decided to get in. Let me just put all of this in my little Excel as well. So I like keeping records of all of this, because in case I ever go back from the future and try to look back in time, this is going to be a bunch of valuable clues that I set my future self up for success. Okay. Okay. So we have an exit that was declared at 8:21 p.m. That's interesting, because so the story is over here that this is a multi-part trade, in the sense that at 8:21 p.m. he said that there was a huge 12% move or 12% profit that he made. And did it really happen though? Is there anything that's going on over here? Okay, so it actually did happen, I think. It did spike up quite a bit, but it also came back down. But at this point, this is where he gave that update. But this time over here, that it made a 12% move during this time. And I'm going to give a little dialogue bubble over here just to, yes, noted. So this is when he decided to leave this little note over here, which I'll read out to you, right? So he noted that there was a 12% jump, which I think is really more of a 12% jump from the point of his entry over here, as opposed to like this from here to here, because this is really like a 12% jump. It's more like, it's closer to, it's almost 20. So he noted that was a jump, thinks that it's topped locally over here, and he now expects things to either consolidate sideways or even reverse back down. So I'm not really sure if he's done anything to his trade at this point. I assume not, because he's just not said anything. I assume that he's still holding this trade at this point in time. So let me just write this down. So what's important to note over here is that he's held this trade for what appears to be at least 14 hours at this point. 16 hours? My math is bad, I'm sorry. 16 hours is how long he's been holding this trade. It's still above his entry price point, which is probably why he's been holding this trade for that long. If not, he would probably have cut the trade. But what's really ballsy over here is that it went up over here and he didn't do anything, and he just let it come back down. He might have been busy doing something else. That's also possible. And now he's just waiting some more. So let's just put that in here under the June 1st and see what happens next. So the next update for this specific coin is actually over a day later, on June the 3rd, little past midnight. So the update over here is that it hit his profit target. So it hit his profit target, and he thinks that there's a lot more room to go above that. Wow, look at this. Look at this over here. I'm sorry. It just kind of went past the point where I wanted it to stop. I wasn't paying attention. All right, so we're gonna do this. I think it was here. Next candle. Okay, so it basically blazed through two of his profit targets, because there was one profit target here, right, at 0.0345, and there was another profit target over here at 0.038. So let's mark that over here. Why am I using noted? Noted is an extremely Malaysian keyword, phrase, whatever. It's like at the office, like at offices in Malaysia and Singapore, like when you tell someone that some piece of information, they're like, noted. Okay, let me just find a less retarded word for that, right? So mentioned that you know, Okay, I need to look at this 1-day chart real quick because I'm not seeing any, like, what the significance of 0.05 is over here. And this was like 2022. Oh, that's gonna be a long time ago. Okay, let me just do this for homework's sake. Let's just have a look over here. Okay. So 0.5 over here. Yeah, it probably, he was probably looking at the 1-day chart over here and saw that there was a lot of room to run over here. All right. So again, I am Detective Sherlock Holmes in terms of trading over here because I don't have the complete picture, but I am trying to post. I am trying to put together those different pieces of information in order to figure out what the story is, to understand the mystery and how things happen. All right. The reason why I do this is because if I was to go back in time, like there's no real efficient way of, oh man. Okay, let me just select the bar. All right. All right. We're done. We're done. Case closed. Okay. It's not very clear to me if, because there was a profit target over here that he had at 0.0345. It's not really clear to me if he took profit when it went up here or he even dragged his freaking stop loss. So that's still a mystery. I put that down in my notes. It looks like he did exit here. Okay, so this is closed. Case closed on this guy. He managed to make some money over here. And for those folks who are just joining us, what I'm trying to do over here is trying to reverse engineer a bunch of trades that a allegedly really successful guy took last year, and try to see. I'm trying to figure out what he saw over here when he decided to enter his crypto trades over here. I learned by reverse engineering. It's a bit of a Chinese way of doing things. It's a bit of a joke. I don't know if that's I don't think that's racist because I'm Chinese technically, although I don't even know which generation above me came from China, and frankly I don't think I'll ever find the answer to that. Okay, let's see. It's absolutely fine. Check this stuff out. So I reverse engineer stuff, and by doing that, I'm able to understand. I'm able to understand this stuff a lot better, as opposed to having someone like sit there and tell me that this is the theory of how it's supposed to be done, blah 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 blah. Because that stuff gets boring. He moved. So I don't know if he took profits along the way. I don't know if he moved up stop loss, but we're gonna call this a case closed and move on to another trade of his over here. Let's see. I want to work with something that has a lot of information. It's absolutely fine. I need to control F over here. Is there not ENS in here? ENS? This is one of the problems with this platform over here. Like there's no easy way to like find a coin without like messing up the order. Like it's not possible to like sort by alphabetical order first and then go back to the original way that it was sorted by hand. So I'm gonna have to look for this manually. I don't know if this is even alive anymore. Let's check it out. ENS USDT. Is it a dead coin? Let me just check out coin market cap real quick. Is ENS still alive? All right, let me just also put my timestamp over here. ENS trade. Are you sure? ENS is number 90 on coin market cap, so I don't understand. I don't understand where it is. Am I dumb? I'm trying to look for it. It's like a needle in the haystack over here. Nope, this is ENS. Here we go. ENS is over here. I'm going to switch over here and I'm going to go over to ENS over here. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to take away this. I'm going to plop in this guy's details. So we're going to actually use the select bar because his declared entry was back here at 4:06 a.m. So we're going to check this out here. $4:06 a.m. with a declared entry price of 27.7, which is over here. So this is where he actually entered, and this is where he declared that he entered. I'm gonna put this over here. Okay. By the way, I should mention that around this time of day, every single day, I usually play a couple of matches of Age of Empires. Age of Empires is a 25-year-old strategy game that I still enjoy. But fortunately or unfortunately, there is nobody that I know who is online. So that actually gives me some time to do real stuff. So I need to stop procrastinating. I hope that I won't be distracted when someone eventually invites me to a game. Sometimes I do wish that no one comes online, and then that way I'm able to be super productive. Okay. So on the 2nd of June 2024, he enters here. He has a stop loss at 24.65. That's pretty far down, yo. It's pretty far down. And I am going to venture to guess that it's because of this tiny ass wick over here, alongside the fact that things were down here as well. So it's not super important to me, but it's noteworthy anyway. I don't really need to learn how to set a stop loss at this point. So he has two profit targets over here, which let me jump into the 1 day again. 1 day, because I'm curious as to how he decided that this was gonna be it. Frankly, I have no clue. Why did he decide that 37 was going to be his take profit target? I can see the reason for 30 over here, not 37. Let's look at 4 hour. 4 hour. I realize I'm speaking like one of those people from Eastern Europe with the swallowing, no the, no no n. Just let's look at 4 hour. Okay. I'm trying to figure this thing out. Okay. There's 30 over here, right? There's 30. I have no idea why he set 37. It just seems like a random place to have a profit target, but at this point we're not gonna fucking care. Let's put that aside from now and start constructing my table. So I actually have a table in Microsoft Word where I write out what I'm telling you guys in this live stream. Like it's just easier for me to type it out, because at some point when I go looking for that information, I might not have the time to go through a long ass live stream. Although I am time stamping this as I'm going along, so after this I'll just update the video description with the timestamps. That might help both myself and other people in the future. Okay, so we're gonna look at this real quick. Looks like everything was trending. So trending. I'm gonna put down some notes over here that everything was trending and everything looked nice. 1 week was kind of breaking out from here. It wasn't exactly trending because of what these two lines stand for. At some point I might make a video to talk about these freaking lines. I don't know, or depending on whether I get like live stream engagement and stuff like that. If someone asks, I'll gladly talk about all these damn lines that look super complicated, but they're really not. They're not as complicated as a lot of people think. And that's where the misconception that trading is complicated comes from. So 1 week was breaking out. So it was in my book kind of sideways chopping over here for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Just magically broke out like that. Okay. So All right, so I'm going to put down in my notes over here that I don't really know where this is from, 37, but 30 is definitely from 4 hour and or 1 day. From my notes over here, he says that he hasn't seen the close of this 1 week level, which is what I just looked at. Okay, that's fine. He says that this is a risky entry and that there's fairly limited chance of it going down because I guess it kind of shot up over here and stayed above these little candles over here. Okay. Well defined based on, yeah, that's what he has in his notes. He says that it's been hovering around this price point over here for some time now, so he doesn't think it's too risky. And then I'm gonna save this real quick, save this chart so I have it in my reference, and then we're gonna move over to the exit because this is a fairly in and out trade. He declared his entry at 4:06 a.m. and a little under 3 hours later he declared his exit with a profit. So I'm gonna go Sherlock Holmes that in just a moment after I save this screenshot. I'm also gonna grab my other view over here. Do I have the right bar? Okay, I'm gonna go over here. So it looks pretty similar on this chart. Is a 15-minute over here and the 5 minutes over here. It looks pretty similar. I'm gonna save this. Not much to add. All right, so at 6:51 he declared his exit. 6:51. So sometime about this candle over here. I'm gonna mark it. Or did he just note it? He noted at 6:51 how close it was to his profit target of 30. All right. All right. Expected TP1. All right, so 6:51 is when he declared this, and there's not much to say really about this part over here. So let me just save this as well. Something that he did mention. And at 3:48, he said sold the rest of it. Okay, let's fast forward to 3:48. Be careful that I don't miss my candle so I don't have to waste time. Ooh, whoa. Okay, so it didn't really go up from there. So this is where he declared exit. So it went up, it almost touched his profit target, and it went back down. I don't know if he took any profits on this. He might have, he might not have. I have no clue. But what it does look like, because there's usually a delay between when he declares his exit and when he actually took the exit. My guess is that he exited around here or just slightly below his entry price. That's why I marked this entry price over here in pink, because I want to know when we move forwards in time, when he declares his exit, how close we are to the point where he entered the trade. So it doesn't look that swell over here no more, right? So 1 hour looks pretty terrible. 30-minute it says that that future price hikes are out. Yeah, 4 hour looks not so good. One day is still not bad. So we're gonna save this, and move on. I'm gonna move my chart over here. I realized that this first live stream that this is not really as sweet in terms of ambient noise, because like there's live streams where you just watch someone doing work, but there's sounds of machinery and stuff, like in the Rossmann repair videos, but there's no background noise. The charts don't make any noise, fortunately or unfortunately. All right, so all right. Okay, so this was definitely a win. This was a mixed bag over here. So I'm going to mark this as he took some profit potentially, hopefully, and then he also got out with the rest, whatever the rest is, at break even. So we're good with this one. Okay, let me just grab my timestamp. I actually need to use the bathroom, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to take a short break over here and come back in about 5 minutes. I'll grab some tea as well and do a bunch of stuff. So I've been doing this for like an hour. I try to get up from my chair anyway and not sit here the entire day. That's yeah. I'll be right back. All right, so I am back, and let me just put that timestamp over here. So, okay, warning, this blah blah blah. What does it say over here? Let's check this out. Okay, the bit rate is lower than blah blah blah. Okay, I don't care about the bit rate, bro. As long as these live streams are functional and no one's complaining. Okay, let's get on to our next trade, which is ton. Ton is over here. Ton is here. And we're gonna get into what happened. So, ooh, this one's gonna be a hard one. So I have the entry price. No, I only have a stop loss, but he mentioned that was a similar, like, entry as before, similar parameters. Say what now? Say what? Was there a previous trade here? Same parameters as before. Where is before? Okay, let me just look up what happened before that. And okay, I guess. All right, let me just look at my notes again. Otherwise, we might have to skip this one because there's no information. There's no information here other than the parameters are the same as before. But the before was literally over 3 weeks before that. Man, oh man. Oh, I see. There's missing information that I'm not able to retrieve over here. So that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. So what I can do over here is I can mark his declared entry time over here. June 5th. 2024. Okay. Around here was when he declared it. Okay. I don't have any information for this latest trade of his aside from he had a stop loss at 6.55, which is here. So this is a total Sherlock Holmes kind of deal. He declared entry over here. I don't know what his profit targets were, but I'm assuming they would be similar to those before. Yeah, okay. So it does look like he might have entered maybe here or here. I don't know his price that he bought in with, but it does look like it kind of broke upwards over here. It looks like it did break upwards over here as well. So it is very possible that he entered somewhere here, which I'm going to mark with a blue arrow. Because this was a trade that he made money on. So in a normal situation, I would just be more inclined to skip this trade because there's just so little information that I have to work with. What am I doing? So this is what he was seeing, I guess. Let's also fast forward this to the date that he entered, June the 5th. 145 is here. So this was also breaking out over here. This was breaking out. He could have entered here. Yeah. Either way, I want to move this thing without moving it on the other chart. Either way, I'm going to save this thing in my little folder, and then we're going to look at what he was looking at, what he was potentially seeing. Because it does look like this was trending, this was trending, this was trending, this was trending. Too little information here, but it was breaking out. He definitely was monitoring this before this. So this thing kind of broke up off the top of the 1 day resistance over here. This thing broke off the top of the 4 hour. This thing was absolutely within his sights because it was trending on all time frames. So I'm going to save this alternate view over here. There's a lot of paperwork that I have to do when it comes to these trades. Again, I'm kind of putting these things into my Microsoft Word that's off screen over here. But it's basically the same information that I'm talking to myself about over here, right? So this was okay. Joe's trade on the 5th of June. And then what happened? At 2:43, so we have to be a bit precise over here. So at 2:43, he declares that this is not what you want to see at a resistance level. So I don't know what he did over here. It doesn't sound like he did anything. He says that he needs, okay. He says that there's still time to save it, but be ready to cut. Whatever that means. All right. Just put this in a more organized fashion, and I'm going to save this one as well. This is a post-entry note where he did not like this huge ass candle that bounced off 7.1 over here. Post entry note. All right, so I do have someone who is pinging me to start a match of Age of Empires, which I might soon do. But again, this is a very general live stream. I'm not getting paid for this. I do not make money off YouTube. This is also my channel, so if I'm gonna switch to a video game, there's not much anyone else can do about it. Okay, so let me just try to wrap this up before he I think there's going to be a match that I have to join in the next few minutes. So let me just try to wrap this up in another trade before I do that. The good thing for you guys is, if you're watching this and you're bored as fuck or just absolutely clueless as to what's happening, when I start my little Age of Empires match and I start playing, that's where I usually rant a lot about random stuff. The kind of material that would usually go into like a dedicated video clip on this channel. I'll also be cussing out stupid people all the time in that game. So that's really I think a great representation of what life really is. Like that video game is 25 years old, Age of Empires 2. But there's so much in there that you can learn about how people work. There's all these people who try to join games without any experience whatsoever. And then they start blaming all their teammates for the fact that they're losing, not realizing or not wanting to realize or acknowledge the fact that they were the bottleneck to the game. It's not their teammates who are bad, it's them. And it's the same shit in trading, where everyone says, oh, you can't make money off of this because a lot of people try to trading and then they end up losing the money and failing. What makes you think that you're going to succeed at this? The answer is, look at all those people in those video games. Look at the kinds of people joining those games. They just bought the game. They have no experience in it. There's a single player mode that they could have easily practiced in, but no. It has to be a multiplayer game. They have to jump right in. What makes you think that people are not doing the exact same thing for trading and everything else, everything in life for that matter? There's a lot of people who don't know jack shit about what they're doing, that they want to hop on this bandwagon because they hear it's good, they hear that it makes money, they hear that there's this, that, and the other, so I'm going to do it right away. I don't want to read the stupid manual because I'm too smart for that. Those are the kinds of people who end up losing money. And those are the same people who go on the internet and say trading is so hard. There's no way anyone can do this as a full-time job because it's impossible. You have to be so lucky, bro. Just like you have to be so lucky when you win those different matches in your Age of Empires or Overwatch or Counter-Strike or whatever. Just like you have to be so lucky to have the right set of teammates to carry you. Is that what you're talking about here? Like, there's a lot of ridiculous people that I've met and encountered both personally and on the internet, which is really why I've decided to try out this challenge to make money off being a day trader, because there's so many people who say it's hard, but it's not. Trust me. So before I broke into that rant and before that person who invited me to go play that match went offline, where was I with this trade? Ton. So we've found the reason why he entered, which is the fact that everything was trending on the 30-minute all the way to 1 day. Not enough information on the 1 week. And he didn't really like it after an hour sitting in this trade. I'm not sure if he stayed in it, but it looks like he did, because at 5:37, another 2 hours later, he wrote a pretty happy sounding message. Let's fast forward to that right now. 5:37 is when he mentioned that it looks good going into the daily close, right? So the daily close in crypto happens in about 2 hours time, and it's just not selling off. Okay, so he declares that he's still in. All right. So daily close was in 2 hours. He liked this a lot, and we have two more updates after that. So later on that morning, the price actually shot up. I'm gonna save this right now. 10:56 is when the price shot up like crazy. So let's check that out. Okay, 2 more candles. Okay. So he entered way back here, and things are now here, which is like a 10% move. And how much leverage did he use on this thing? He didn't really say either. So based on history, he might have used like 3x leverage. So he's up 30% of whatever he decided to put into this thing at this point. And he says that this is the first profit target. I think it's here. I think it might be here. Maybe. Again, for this specific trade, I'm kind of flying blind because the only information that I have to work with from this guy is his stop loss. So I'm gonna give this line a little light blue because that's my guess. And this is when he mentioned, is there no way for this line to appear? Let me refresh the page. I don't like that the line color isn't appearing as intended. Let's go back there again. June 5th. June the 5th over here. Okay. 5:30. No, that's not 5:30. We've done that already. 10:45. So okay, I'm gonna check this out. Where's my blue line? The blue line's here, but it's not here. What is wrong with this? Are you kidding? Okay, so when I fast forward another candle, it appears. Let's keep it that way and save the screenshot right now. Okay. I probably should reply to a bunch of people as well, because there's a bunch of text messages that I'm currently sitting on that I haven't replied to, but I'm not a very good texter. I actually, like, as much as I use technology a lot, I really hate technology at the same time. So I'd rather not be texting, but all right, so we're gonna save this. TP1 hit. TP1 is over here. And then we have the last update over here, which is at 11:12. 11:12. The last update is over here. Oh, it went back down. Huh? Say what? All right, so okay, that's interesting. At least there's something, there's more information that we have. Wait, do I want to put this here? Because he mentioned that he moved his stop loss. Okay, he moved his stop loss two up here. So let's not confuse those two. Let me just put this up here. So he moved the stop loss up to this over here, 6.95. And he mentioned that he also took half of the table at this point. All right, so this is a mystery solved. Well, not really at the same time, but yeah, it's never really clear if he wrote this into another trade that he took on the same coin later, like in a couple of weeks after this trade was taken, or if he got out at some point. But he mentioned taking away half. He mentioned taking away half over here, which I should probably want to put a little circle over here, so we have a reference point. But he doesn't mention what he did with the other half. So it could be that he eventually sold it. It could be that he held on to it until he took another trade in this coin on the 14th of June. It's not really clear to me. It's not really clear to me. And there is one more person in the lobby. There's another person in the lobby who has joined. Like, there's just one more person in the lobby who needs to join before my game begins. So let me just switch over to that real soon. Real soon. I'm watching this. You know what? I'm gonna make the decision over here because there's just one more person who needs to join the lobby before the game begins, and I'm gonna live stream that game. Don't worry about that one. I'm gonna switch over my screen so y'all can see it. But there's not a lot of time for me to set up the next trade until then, because I don't want to leave a trade hanging halfway and like blah 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 and do that to you guys, because it's also not conducive when I put my timestamps in the video in this live stream over here, because at some point I'm going to put everything in the description so y'all can navigate this long ass live stream easily. So I don't want to start analyzing another trade only to switch over to playing Age of Empires and then switching back again to analyzing the trade, because I might repeat myself. It's not as if I don't already do that. Want to make things efficient over here. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to try to locate my next coin that I want to analyze and reverse engineer. And I'm going to talk about some random stuff before the game begins. Actually, the game is going to begin right now. So I'm trying to look for BNB, but my eyes are failing me at this point in time. And the game is starting. So let me just switch right over to freaking Age of Empires right now and see if that game begins. I'm going to keep trying to look for a freaking BNB. Where's my BNB? Okay, the game doesn't look like it wants to start, so I'm going to switch back to this screen. It looks like there's someone who's got like really high ping, and the game usually doesn't start when that happens. Yeah. Is it gonna start? Oh wow. No one dropped? No one dropped from this game? It actually started? Okay. So there's someone who's lagging, and that's the reason why this game isn't really as smooth as it is. Alright, so this is my favorite freaking game, and I've been playing this game for so damn long. It's ridiculous. I just noticed a bunch of people dropped off because I guess they saw a video game, but guess what? You don't pay me for this shit. You're not my manager. This is my channel. I does what I want on this channel. It doesn't matter. So the reason why I play this game, just for context, I've been playing this game since I was like a kid. I was addicted to it at one point in time. That so much so that my dad actually had to take away the physical disc and go hide it somewhere. It's a bit ridiculous, but I like this game because there's a lot of thought that goes into it. It's also not really like distracting in a way. It's such a good game. I need to clarify myself better than Joe Biden over here. The reason why this game is amazing is because there's a lot of there's a lot of thinking that you have to put into this game, and it's not really reaction time based, right? So there's a lot of games where your reaction time is tested because you have to shoot the guy before he shoots you in the Counter-Strike or something. But this is what I call digital chess. This is digital chess, FYI. This is digital chess because you have to put a lot of thought into it. You have to be aware. There's a combination of like awareness of what the other players are doing. There's an element of planning. There's an element of being able to do something about like an attack that happens to your village, your city, or whatever you want to call it. It's a good game. So I play this game on a regular basis because I feel like it helps me relax a bit, and also my brain doesn't just fucking shut off after looking at the charts for like 8 hours in a day. And like I said, you understand human behavior a lot in this game, and many other video games as well. It's just that this game gives you a lot more time to think about how humans behave. And once you get to understand how humans behave, you realize that a lot of those people who tell you that, you know, you're not going to become a profitable trader because it's so hard, and it's not for everyone because you got to be so lucky, all of that is bullshit. You realize that because in this video game, it's such an old game, right? It's 25 years old, but you still have people who are brand new at this game who refuse to read the umpteen guides that are available on the internet. Like, the internet has had 25 years to write guides about this game, but there's still people who play this game right off the bat after they bought it, thinking that they're going to be good at it, and once they start losing, that's when they start blaming their teammates. Oh, I have a sucky team. My team sucks. That's why we lost. And not realizing that the reason why you lost isn't because of your team. It's because of the fact that you decided to jump into this game without learning how anything works. And the same thing goes for trading. The same shit happens for trading. The only difference is trading is kind of a boring video game that takes place on a chart, and this is a slightly more, I guess, visually appealing game that is from 1999. That's the only difference between this game and trading. There's so many stupid people out there who want to try something out because they heard great things about it, whether that's making money off of something or because this game is super fun. It doesn't matter. And what they end up doing is that they plow head first into the fucking swimming pool, thinking that they'll automatically become the fucking Michael Phelps of whatever it is that they wanted to try. And when something goes wrong, when things don't go as planned, when they don't make as much money as they thought, when they start losing money, that's when they start saying, oh, it's because of all these other things, not because of me. It's because of my stupid teammates. It's because trading is just gambling, bro. Because trading is not something that can be done consistently. Like, you learn a lot about human behavior through a game like this. And again, the reason why you don't learn about this in a game like Counter-Strike, for example, is because the game's too intense. There's not enough time, there's not enough like lull moments for you to start thinking. This game, I've played something ridiculous like 10,000 hours. I think is not an unreasonable estimation. 10,000 hours in the last 25 years, and I still play it, not because it offers me anything new, but it's because of the fact that I'm able to turn my I'm just trying to focus on getting these guys out and up and running. I play this game because there's a lot of opportunity for me to think about other stuff. It's kind of like sitting on the toilet bowl. It's exactly like sitting on the toilet bowl. When I play this game, like maybe 50% max of my brain is assigned to actually playing. The other 50% is thinking about random stuff. So it allows me to actually process a lot of things that I've studied during the day, or like even think about new video content to make and stuff like that. It's a nice opportunity to chill. It's underappreciated because a lot of people think that video games are for young children. How old are you, bro? Like you're of an adult age, so you shouldn't be playing video games anymore. And in many respects, I do agree. Like, video games definitely are something that people should outgrow for most part. But there's certain things that you want to do to relax. And for me, I don't watch Netflix. I don't have Netflix. I don't watch a lot of TV. I maybe watch like a movie once a month if I'm lucky. So this is my version of what most people call Netflix. That's what it is, I think. And so what's happening over here? Let me just explain. I don't know if people understand what's going on in this game. So in this game, you're just supposed to defeat the enemy. it's really fucking simple. But you have to build up stuff, and because this game is so old, there's not a lot of people who are let's just say innovating in this game, right? There's a fixed number of things that we all understand. There's these so-called technology trees, where each civilization can make certain things, but there's also a lot of noobs on here. So what I do in this game are a fixed set of strategies that work almost every single time. It's again almost like trading, because in trading a lot of people think that, oh, I have to read the news, I have to start looking at all these different indicators, I have to start finding what the next best indicator is, blah 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 blah. Like, you don't. Trading is incredibly boring. Like, once you crack the code, which is what I'm trying to do with those crypto trades, it becomes extremely easy because there's only more or less the same things that you're supposed to be looking for, that you're supposed to be doing all the freaking time. And not to say it works all the time, but again, that's why it's called, that's why there's an element of risk in there. Trading isn't going to work 100% of the time, but the strategies that you learn are going to work for most part, and that's how it is. A lot of people might feel upset that, you know, they try to learn up trading and it doesn't go the direction that they want it to go, and blah blah blah. It's okay. Okay, so this guy is attacking me over here. He's gonna go look for me over here. I'm gonna move my people over here. There's a fixed way to trading, just like there's a fixed way to win Age of Empires almost every single time. Do those strategies work every time? No. Do they work most of the time? Yeah. That is why okay. I should probably... So he's trying to attack me over here. There's a fixed set of strategies that you can employ in this game to win. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I call butter. Butter is when I create this certain unit called the Scorpion, and when you mass them enough, when you get critical mass, they just melt everything in their path like butter. That's why it's called butter. You basically become invincible. Okay. And I don't know if this is an excuse, but at least what I tell the person that I'm dating is that this game helps me improve my reflex time, because I have to click the button fast enough whenever I enter a trade. That's just a joke. A semi-joke. Alright. Let's see what's going on here. He's still attacking me. He's not really doing anything. Okay. He's trying to tower rush me. I'm building a tower to counter him. So he's trying to... It doesn't matter that he's doing this, because I am also booming at the same time. Booming is when your economy is booming. You're making a lot of productive things happen. Yeah, I know that there's people attacking me, bro. Appreciate it. Like, bro, I have 25 years experience at this game. It's pretty tough to beat me. It's like this was my full-time job when I was a kid. Okay, I'm gonna start making the units that I need to make butter. Bo thought he got me over there. Okay, that's fine. That's really funny. So what's happening over here is Orange is unsuccessfully rushing me. He is no match for my superior reflex time. And I need to gather more wood. Okay, there's a castle going up over here. You got me. All right. Game is lagging a little bit over here. Doesn't matter. I think Orange is gonna resign. Orange is gonna resign soon. I can smell it. I can smell it coming. All right, the game is lagging, so let me just switch over to my BNB and start setting it up. I don't really know what's happening over here. What are these things from? Are these my previous trades? Yeah, I think these are my previous trades. Okay, this is from February 2025. Okay, let's check it out. Where are my notes? Okay, so we have three trades in a row over here, all BNB. This is not yet BNB. Let me just switch this over. Where was my BNB? So actually, this game is still ongoing. Really, bro? We need to end this game fast, bro. So what I'm gonna do over here is kill this guy. Shoot this guy over here. Alright, I was wrong. I probably could set up that BNB just a bit. Oh, what? Okay, so it looks like we're 3 versus 4. Okay, this is where it gets exciting, because one thing that usually happens in this game is that people often resign, and so me and some of these people who play this game on the regular with me, we're stuck like outnumbered by the enemy. But if there's one thing that you can learn from this game, is that you should never give up. There's a lot of people who just like, oh, you know, the game is over, 1 person left, and they're so wrong about that, because what makes you think you're gonna lose? Just because 1 person disconnected, it doesn't mean that the world is ending. In fact, a lot of the times, the game actually gets better. So let's see if we can do that. And make this game great again, as certain orange man would like to say. Okay. Okay. Ooh, we are loaded. We are loaded. Let me just take over this guy's town. Over here, you can't really see because I zoomed in to this game just a little bit because my screen is extremely high resolution. Okay. Ah, look at that. We're gonna turn them into butter. We're gonna melt them. We're gonna melt them so hard. Oh shit, let's go. I don't know if you can see this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Everyone's just melted here, bro. Okay, let's melt this guy as well. Get back my gold. This is my gold. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Okay, I best be mining for gold over here because I'm running low. Gonna start rolling into his town over here. Okay, let's look at what's going on up here. It looks like he's having a lot of trouble. I hate it when it happens like that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just gonna melt this guy's town real quick. Alright, melt this guy as well. Alright. Wait, what? Really? Okay, so purple resigns. Alright, so let me get these guys over because they are... they're getting hurt. Alright. I'm gonna get some guys over here. Needs more critical mass over here. So the reason why this works is because we hit critical mass. The reason it doesn't work is if we don't have critical mass. We need critical mass. This is crazy. Okay. I think that they're cooked. Alright, you better work fast, man. You better work fast. Okay, one thing that I don't appreciate about this is that there's often these guys who don't help out. Alright. Let's go. Alright, so it looks like we're running out of gold. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because we are good. Oh man, your teal is a try-hard over here. GG. We win. We win! Alright, let's get back to this this analysis now that we've lost a bunch of viewers. But again, my channel, my show. Let's look at okay, so we're gonna look at BNB over here while waiting for our next game to start real quick. I'm gonna timestamp this as well so people have the opportunity to skip the parts that they don't like in this live stream, aka me hauling and stomping ass in a video game that's 25 years old. I'm trying to get why there are purple lines in here. Okay, these are my trades, I think. So let's get that out of the way and start looking at BNB. BNB is a coin by Binance. Okay, let's okay. You know what? I probably should finish up the ton notes before this. Ton notes are here. Ton notes say that he took the trade probably when it broke out. Okay, putting in some notes over here. Trying to see if there is. Okay, looks like a breakout entry, and then all right. Trying to get my notes in here, bro. Everyone, chill out. So 5th. Okay, I'm glad that I organized all my notes over here. So far ahead. So we have 705 as the entry over here. 705 is the entry that this guy took for BNB. He subsequently had a stop loss of 664. So let me just mark that real. 705. 705 is right here. That's really weird, man. Because his declared entry. Oh, I need to fast forward, I think. His declared entry was 3:06 p.m. 3:06 p.m. on the 5th of June. That's where we're going right now. It looks like it was here. 705 was his entry point. 705 was over here. I want to say that he entered here, right? Because he declared his entry to be over here, but he also mentioned that he had an entry price of 705. So 705 would have been somewhere here or even here, to be honest. So let me just mark this arrow over here. It could have been either one of these. I want to say it's here. I want to say it's most likely here. Let me just remove this for clarity's sake. Now the reason why that is because I noticed that he has a pattern of using breakouts as entry points. So when it went up here, he probably wasn't looking at it, but it went down here, and then it suddenly like shot up here. That looks like where he would have entered if he was around at the time. So this was 1:30 in the afternoon, and an hour and a half before he declared his entry. Looks like he entered before that. Everything looked good, to be honest. 30-minute check, 1 check, 4-hour check, 1-day check, 1 week also check. So all of these things looked great. Just put that down here. So what's interesting over here is that I'm actually good with the longer term, higher time frames. I'm familiar with that with all of this. I think it's just this entry timing where I need to get good at this, because I can see this, I can see this, I can see this, but I don't know exactly when to enter. So I'm trying to look for a pattern here as to how he decides to enter on the lower time frames. 306 once an all-time high. So let's mark his stop losses. 664 was one of them. 664. $664 was one of them, and his target price was over 750. What? All right, let's look at this bigger chart over here. Okay, 750 would be a new all-time high. Wow. Okay. So this was actually at all-time highs when he decided to get into this, and he wanted it to just break even further on top of that. So that's a 5% move on top of all-time highs. All right. Target was 5% over all-time highs. Wow. Okay. So looks like the stop loss. Stop loss was below the 30-minute and or 1 hour lows. You can see over here, this is how he set his stop loss. That's not too much of a mystery. That's nice, because I really don't like the mystery component of this, of all of this. I don't like the mystery. Shortly thereafter, he said that he did not like. Alright, let me just save this thing real quick, and then I will move on. I do have another match of Age of Empires starting, which means that I'm gonna chase away a bunch of viewers from this channel, which is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, guess what? I don't care. I'm not doing this for money. Not even doing this for views. I'm just doing this because I'm doing it. I might as well share it. Hope that someone learned something from it. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, shut the fuck up. I know. I'm trying to save my fucking charts. Alright, with that, we're gonna do a bit of an intermission over here. Setup of the All right, so we set up BNB. We're gonna get to the exit point later on after the short intermission. And we'll try to look for more of what he saw. All right, so we're back to this over here. We're gonna steal this guy's board.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I really want to steal his shit. I really want to steal those boars. I really want to steal those boars over here. Bro. Okay, I guess I'm not stealing them because he has a lot more villagers at his disposal. Unfortunate. I'm kind of set back at this point, just a little bit. Unfortunate. 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 There's a lot of corpses over here, a lot of spooky skeletons. And he has a lot of bonus boar. That sucks. I don't know if I want to go, what I want to do. I guess I might go Cox. Okay. Cox is the plan. So it comes from this unit called the BBC, and we all know that means Cox. You know, BBC. Not the British Broadcasting Channel. BBC. Alright. Can I sneak over to my BNB and see if I can... oh shit, I didn't pause that? Okay. Lucky I checked.
No. Food, please. Yes.
I have another hour before I have to do something, so I better make this game quick so I can finish off that BNB analysis and then move on with life. Let's go. Okay, what we're gonna do in this game is we're gonna do this tactic called the cocks, the big black cocks. The way that works is that we're gonna make this unit called the BBC, the bombard cannon, and a bunch of cannon units. So that's a difficult combination to beat if you're like behind the aegis. And the trick here is to really just accelerate ahead of the other people in the aegis. That's it. Sounds pretty straightforward, and it is. Tried and tested formula. Tried and tested. And we play this game, and we play that combo so often, it's ridiculous that people haven't learned to kind of expect it at this point. Okay, we're gonna grab these deer over there. I am slightly delayed in terms of timing, but that we will make up. I think we're gonna win this anyway. We have some good players on our team. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna age up, finish this game real fucking quick. I'm gonna quick scope them, bro. I'm gonna quick scope these people. Looks like this guy hasn't taken his bonus boar. He is, let's just call it the, not very intelligent, right? So this person obviously has not played this game often enough. You can tell from their playstyle, which is nice because we're gonna squash them flat, like the flat earther that they are. We're gonna go squash those people flat in this game. Alright, so we are on track over here. Alright. See what's cooking. What's cooking over here? I think we can grab these berries over here. I'm trying to see what our allies are doing. Competent. We have good guys on this game, on this team. Okay. Okay, the person that I need to meet is texting me. And I need to do a few things before I leave. Alright. Okay. All right, so we have this guy whom we're gonna stomp really flat really soon. We have this guy who's gonna help us out, which is nice. Okay. Bro, Gray's the worst out of these players. The worst. No, wait. That's unfortunate. Alright, alright. Looks like we are going to win this game in just the next few minutes. Oh, look at that. He thinks he's cute. We're gonna win, bro. We're gonna win. GG, we're gonna win. Let's go.
Attack an enemy now.
Oh, this is such a classic. He's trying to get a castle up, and then he's gonna resign when he can. He's gonna send all his villagers over to try to build the castle, but he's gonna die, and then he's gonna resign. Can you help this guy out? If not, he's gonna die. If he dies, we die. We're gonna need some stone. Do we need stone over here? Okay, both. We need some stone here. Okay, he's done. Purple is done. This is crazy. GG. I'm gonna take a quick toilet break right now before our next game. Okay. Alright. We're good here. Alright. Quick toilet break, and I'll be right back. That's not my toilet break, by the way, that's my tea. And I am back. So I'm gonna. What am I doing here? Where's my window? Okay, it looks like my window's. My chat window is. Chat window is glitching out. Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. Okay, so at some point I need to probably should film a video after this. This one video before I go do my thing. So we're gonna do that. I wanna make a video on Age of Empires. So I wanna talk about what I just talked about earlier on, where Age of Empires is a lot of has a lot of people in there that are a reflection of how people are in real life. There's a lot of people who join that game, they try to play it without any prior knowledge, they don't give a shit to learn how it works, they lose, and then what happens is they end up blaming everyone else. So as a result, that pretty much is a one-to-one translation into a lot of things in real life, like trading, for example, where a lot of people just join trading, they don't know what they're doing, and they decide to just play the game. So when they play the game of trading and they lose, what they end up doing is they blame everyone but themselves. And that's how a lot of life works. And Age of Empires is one of those games where so many people are exactly how they are across different aspects of life. It's not different at all. So I want to make a video on that, but first of all I need to solve this problem. So we have 3:06 p.m. over here. So what happened over here is I drew these lines before our little game just now. And he entered at about 3:06 p.m. or at least he declared that he did, but the reality was, based on the price that he gave, it looks like he entered at this point over here, 7:05, which was over an hour and a half before he declared his entry. Everything looked nice and trending over here. Everything was up 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours a day, and even 1 week was up over here. So after that, at 9:37 p.m., he goes ahead to give an update that he does not think that this was, and this is as strong as he anticipated. So this was about here. So this is when he declared that it wasn't as strong as it wasn't as strong as he anticipated, and he decided to get out. Declared exit over here. So we have 3 entries that are back to back over here that we'll be looking at. So let's just look at this one first. This first BNB entry that he took on June the 5th, 2024, started out like it wanted to break out, and then it kind of plunged back down, and then it started chopping sideways, which is never good. I believe that he took a slight loss on this because there's no way he could have gotten out anywhere close to break even. Even if he got out on this candle, it would have been a quite a bit away from where he entered. So I'm going to label this as a loss. Unless he actually got out on this candle over here, which I think is extremely unlikely. Okay, so this is a pretty straightforward mystery. He got in, he got out. He didn't like the price action. I don't think anyone would, right? If you looked at the 1 hour chart over here, there was this huge red candle, which is basically this guy over here. And you have this candle over here, which is also a reflection of what happened over here on a smaller time scale. And over here on the 4 hour chart, it basically closed back below this entry price of his, and it looked like it wanted to put in a lower high. That makes sense. This one's a straightforward one. I'm gonna save this exit over here. I'm getting sleepy, to be honest. I haven't had my been having my tea though. Been having my tea. Open and shut. And right after that, over 24 hours later, he declared another entry. So we're gonna jump right to that. We're gonna save this for now. June the 6th. So the problem with select bar is that I can't select the bar if it's ahead of if it's in the future. $21.30 over here. It's $21.30. Alright, so at $21.30 he decided that he would re-enter that because BNB was at the time stronger than a lot of other coins. So he had an entry point of 710, which we're gonna mark over here. 710, which happened here. So again, I think he took this entry about 10 minutes before he declared it. He had a stop loss of 687 over here. 687 is over here. And then he had his profit target at 750, which is way beyond all-time highs in the first entry, but he had no specific profit target in this one. We'll just assume that it's going to be the same thing, because that's what he usually likes to do. If he re-enters the trade, he likes to have the same profit target as before, especially if it's an all-time high, because really there's nowhere else that the price could go. So we'll save this one. It's also a pretty open and shut case, which I like, because there is one more game of Age of Empires that I'm actually supposed to be in, and I hope to be able to do that real soon, because I know based on this initial experience, the viewers tend to drop off the moment I open my game of Age of Empires. So I'm going to try to do that, do all of this stuff before I play, and then this is going to be the last trade analysis, reverse engineered analysis that we're going to do for today. Alright, so I have my entry over here, and he declared his exit at everything looked good, by the way. Everything was more or less the same as before. 30 minute, 1 hour, all good. We're gonna go forwards in time, and it looks like this stop loss was also below the recent 30 minute / 1 hour low, and so that makes sense. It's an open and shut case. I like it. Shortly thereafter, at 12:22 a.m. Whew, it's pretty late. 22. Okay, here. He declared that he exited. Well, that was bad. It went up here and then it just went all the way back down here. I can see why. Declared exit, and so alright, we're gonna save this over here. Pretty straightforward. I like it. So I hope everyone can see why he got out. This one's super. This one's as in your face as it can get. This is easy mode right here. So we have one more trade entry over here. That is at 6:58. So let me just send my villagers to work and we'll complete this analysis over here. I'm not going to show my Age of Empires screen because people seem to not respond well when they see the video game open and they start drifting away. So we have this one last trade over here that was taken at 6:58 a.m. Okay. At 6:58 a.m. Fast forward as well. 6:58 a.m. was about here. Okay. So he took this entry over here. Okay, so we're gonna label this that he didn't provide any details for this trade. So 6:58 is the only piece of information that I have for this trade right here. Everything else is in the dark. So I'm gonna say that he probably, let's mark his entry point here first, and we're gonna put this over here. By the way, I've started that last game that I talked about, because this is going to be the last game for the day as well, just like this is going to be the last trade of the day that I'm going to analyze. I think that he did probably get in around here, because again, this is another breakout trade. It looks like the price was going upwards, and then he just kind of hopped on it like he was hopping on the bus, and it's very believable that he got in at this point. The thing that we have to note about this guy is that there's a lot of times where he seems to go in and out of trades, and this is that one time, right? So a lot of people feel a bit misled or bamboozled by this guy because of the fact that he seems to YOLO his entries quite a bit. That's not my term, by the way. That's something that I read about this guy and some comments that people left him on the internet. They don't like the fact that he YOLOs into trades seemingly in and out and tries his luck constantly. But at the same time, like I said, I've done my kind of homework on this guy. I think he knows his stuff. He definitely seems to have won the money that he claims that he's won. I don't doubt him. So let's save this one over here. We're gonna save this over here. We're gonna save this as the next day he entered. And what time did he exit after that? So he tried again. so this is one of the trades where he tried 3 times in a row, and he wasn't able to successfully capture any profits. In fact, each and every time he seemed to take like a small loss, which disappoints a lot of people who try to copy trade the shit out of this guy. So 9:27 is when he got out. 9:27, let's fast forward. 9:27, okay. 9:27, okay. Mark the little circle over here. 9:27 is definitely below his entry cost, right? So this was, I would say, almost definitely a loss for him as well. This is I think without a doubt. Let's just change that to without a doubt, because there's no way, just based on this chart, that he could have exited and took like a small loss or even like break even. It was definitely a decent sized loss over here, which sucks. Again, a lot of people try to copy trade this guy, and this is one of the things that they complain about. Like, oh, you're supposed to be the smart super boy genius. You need to let us copy trade the trades that are winners, not the ones that are losers. If you are taking losing trades, you must be a gambler, because there's no way that there's a trade like this at all for you. So it's kind of stupid, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Unfortunate, but it's the world that we live in. Alright, so we're gonna save this over here as the next exit, and yeah, looks like he took 3 losses in a row over here. 3 losses in a row. That fucking sucks. That sucks for him. But I can see why. I can see why he chose to enter those trades. I can also see why he chose to exit those trades. So I'm not too disappointed. I didn't copy trade this trade. I'm good. So with that, I think we're gonna wrap things up over here. We're gonna end this stream, or actually you're gonna end the stream, right? Because I'm gonna switch over to my last game of Age of Empires, and most of you, based on what I've seen so far, are probably gonna click the fucking X button. So if you've watched till this point of this stream, I thank you for doing so. It was really a pleasure having you, and I hope to do this again tomorrow, maybe with less video gaming, less Age of Empires, and more talking about the trades that apparently you guys want to see, right? So with that, I hope you learned something. See you all in the next live stream, I guess. And if you're staying on because you really like watching me stomp the shit out of people in Age of Empires, I very much appreciate your viewership. That is extremely appreciated. After this, I gotta go. I'm gonna be somewhere, so I have to end the stream anyway. I'm trying to figure out here how we can end the stream in a timely manner and make a video and be able to leave to where I'm supposed to be in time. Going to be interesting. I'm still trying to figure out a way how I can stream my my live trades in the New York Stock Exchange at night. Because I have way too many windows open, and there's way too much shit going on at the same time. And that's I think the most promising out of the bunch. Out of like crypto, forex, and the New York Stock Exchange, I think the latter holds the most promise, but it's also the most convoluted to live stream, which is why I'm not going to do it until I figure out some kind of way to actually do it, because there's too many windows on that thing. I want to show all my like what's going on and be like super transparent, but with that I don't think I can do that. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to give me shit as a result and say like, oh yeah, you're not actually making the money that you claim that you make, blah blah blah. Like, dude, I can see it happening, because there's so many of these like naysayers out there, like especially where I grew up and where I've lived before, but like in Asia and in Europe, what these two continents share a lot are a lot of like crabs in the bucket, you know, because people hate seeing you succeed, especially in places like Singapore and in those Western European countries, right? Like the Netherlands, Germany. I've heard the same thing about Australia as well. Like people in Australia have a huge crabs in the bucket syndrome. So if anyone's watching this from Australia, feel free to flame me or tell me if I'm right, but that's what I heard. people in Australia hate seeing other people from Australia succeed, and they call it the tall poppy syndrome over there, which is basically the same as the crabs in the bucket. So the analogy comes from like if you apparently grab like a bucket of crabs and you're basically trapping them to cook, and one of them tries to escape. Apparently the other crabs will try to drag that crab that's trying to escape back into the bucket because they hate seeing the other crab potentially getting ahead of them. And it's the same thing in Singapore, in Australia, apparently in a lot of these Western European countries, especially the non-English speaking ones. I think in the UK people might have a bit more like entrepreneurial, like, oh, good for you that you're trying your hand at this, that, and the other, because maybe it's an English speaking culture thing. Maybe it's a fact that they're closer to Americans. I mean, the Americans used to be Brits at some point before Independence Day. I don't know. But there's something that's definitely cooking over there, and makes for a pretty interesting world that we live in. Makes for a very interesting world indeed. I want to see what happens. Let's see. So what was I talking about again? Why did I get into the crabs in the bucket? Yeah, because of trading. Because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to see these videos at some point if they gain enough traction, right? You're going to see a lot of people start to flame me. And I'm not saying a lot of this stuff like preemptively, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say like, hey, you can't be so hard on yourself, like what makes you think that people are going to do that, and blah blah blah. Like, trust me, the stereotypes exist for a reason, and there's a lot of good reasons as to why I believe the things that I believe. It's not because I've decided to wake up one day and make random shit up in my mind. It's because I've actually seen how nasty a lot of people can get, and it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting how nasty people can get, and it's really funny and sad at the same time, because a lot of these people don't realize that it's like the reason why they're fighting each other is because there's a certain power up there, right? We're not talking about God, we're talking about other human beings. There's a certain power up there in society that we live in, regardless of the countries that we're from, where those people would like people in society to fight each other. So if you're distracted fighting each other, you're not going to fight them. And it's really sad. It's really sad when there's this whole crabs in the bucket thing, because like in America, for example, like a lot of people, especially in this part of the world, right, Asia, and also in Europe, like there's a ton of people that I see on LinkedIn on a daily basis who shit on America a lot. They're like, oh, you think you're better than us? Oh, you think that you have this power over us? You think you're better than us? And the problem with that is that because these people are just like so cynical about America, what ends up happening is, regardless if you think America is good or bad, there's a lot of lessons that you could learn from them, and these people just end up shutting themselves off from learning anything, because they're just too busy like criticizing, saying like America bad. And one really good thing that about Americans is that a lot of Europeans can say no, this is not true, and blah blah blah, is that there's a lot of, I guess, camaraderie between the people. Like there's not really this crabs in the bucket thing that's extremely common in places like Europe and Australia, Asia. Like people in America, like if you tell them like you're planning to do like this one business, you're trying to go, you know, start your own bakery, you're going to start your own, you know, car workshop, you're going to start day trading and trying to do that for a living. Everyone's going to be like, good for you. Like how are you planning to do that? They're going to ask you questions to really feed you and you know, increase your self-confidence, because that's what people over there generally or seem genuinely like to see, right? People succeeding, and then they're like, oh wow, this person's done it, they've made it in life, and you know, maybe I could do the same. They're not like, oh, you know, like, oh, it's so hard to do it. I don't believe that this person can do it. What, he thinks he's better than us? Oh, he's gonna fail, and I hope he fails, because the day that he fails, I'm gonna laugh at him because I told you so. That you're so stupid. You should just be like everyone else in society. What do you think? You're so much better than other people that you don't need to work like a normal day job? That's how a lot of people in Asia and Europe seem to think. And I'm not exaggerating. A lot of people think that I'm too negative or whatever, and that's also their frequent cop out whenever I point this out to them. A lot of Europeans are like, oh, you're so negative, like that's not how the world works. But it is though. I've seen it in person. I've heard it in person. I've been told this in person. When everything points to that direction, how can you refute that, right? Like if there's so much evidence pointing to something being true, how is it possible that you can say that's not true? Do you not believe your own eyes and ears? Do you think that your own eyes and ears are delusional, that they'll fool you to hallucinate all these things? Yeah, this guy's declaring GG because it is GG. This game is over. This game is over. Thank goodness as well, because I need to get the heck out of here. I need to get the heck out of here. End the stream. Yeah, the crabs in the bucket is a really, really sad thing. Like, I wish it wasn't a thing. I remember the time when I was trying to get my first job in Europe, and I was telling some of these people that I knew about how I wanted like 50 grand, 50,000 euros a year as a salary, and these guys are like, the average salary in the city is like 30,000 euros. What, you think you're gonna get so much more than the average salary? You think that you're so much better than everyone in the city? You think you're better than all of us? We're also in the city. We're also new to the city. And it's as if I like, you know, gave an insult that insulted their mother or something. Like the way that they reacted was ridiculous. Like it was just a discussion over how much money I was aiming to get out of that, out of getting a full-time job over there. It's so sad. This game is over pretty soon. Making units. Our units are much better than them.
No.
The game is over. What you looking for? Asking for a market? Why? Nobody cares, bro. This game is over. Really? Look at this guy. Like, what is he doing? Game is over. Green is resigning. Time to get out of here. Come on, let's end this game so I can get out of here. I actually really have to go. For the people just joining this stream at this point, I'm sorry, because I've streamed for like 3 hours at this point and this is the tail end. So we've gone over, let's check my little notepad over here. We've gone over 3, 4, 5 sets of trades. It's not even 5 trades, it's 5 sets of trades, which is really nice, right? Because I hope someone learned something from all of this and they'll be able to improve their trading somehow. And in between that, hopefully someone's enjoyed some of my rants about tall poppy syndrome, aka crabs in the bucket that plagues a lot of societies around the world, and also that other thing about how people behave based on this this game that I play, Age of Empires. So time to get out of here. Time to call it a day. Alright, this is Korki Lumpur. You are very welcome and take care. Hope you learn.